Hey guys, it's Georgia, and today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be telling you a story about my bank account getting hacked. So this is my first ever story time video. If you like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you have a story similar to mine, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to read it. But anyways, this is quite a long story, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. So this story starts actually back in January. It started with my account getting hacked, my bank account. So my mom was on her computer one day and she was like, "Hey Georgia, I thought you had blank amount of money in your savings." And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she's like, "No, you don't, because we have joint accounts," or obviously mine was open when I was a minor, so she can see my account. And she was just doing her daily checking of everything. And so I went and looked, and $4,650 was missing from my savings account. And when you're a college student, that's a hefty amount of money. So anyways, I started freaking out a little bit. And the weird thing is my mom had just written a check for an amount that was so similar to that. And the check had been deposited but hadn't yet come out of her account. So we're thinking maybe the bank messed up and for some reason pulled the money from my account. So we kind of stuck with that idea for a few days, and then the money ended up leaving my mom's account, and the money was still gone from my account. And on my account, it said that it was an external transfer and charged me $3 for that external transfer. So I was like, okay, clearly this is some type of fraud situation. So we went to the bank, and the guy at the bank was actually really nice, really cool about it, was trying to help as much as he could. He's like, "This is really strange. I deal with fraud situations quite often. I've never really seen one like this though. The fact that they got your savings." So the money had gone from my account to a USAA account. Now, to have a USAA account, you have to be military or family military, things like that. And no one in my family is military. There's no way any of us can even have a USAA account. So it's pretty clear as day that I did not okay this transfer, because the account that has to go to would have to be in my name, so this is clearly not mine. But anyways, so he reported it to the fraud department, had to go through the procedure of ask me the questions. I had to file a police report, all of that fun stuff. Well, then a few days later, the lady from the fraud department called my mom, and they were supposed to block my account and block my online banking. And I went and checked a few days later and it wasn't blocked, but my mom's was. And my mom's, she definitely needs to be able to access her accounts. And she's like, "What the heck is going on?" And the lady from the fraud department called her and was asking her the questions that should have been asked to me. And my mom's like, "Why are you calling me? You need to be calling my daughter. My daughter's the one that had the money stolen from." She was really rude and disrespectful to my mom. My mom does not at all get upset with customer service. My mom is such a sweet person, so when there's bad customer service, you would never hear her complain. And she got off the phone pissed off. She was so mad. So we went to the bank and talked to the guy again, and we're like, "This lady was so disrespectful." My mom was like, "This is a form of harassment the way she was talking to me. This is absolutely ridiculous. I will not stand for this." She told me that my daughter isn't guaranteed to get her money back. "What are you talking about? This is clearly fraud. She definitely gets her money back. You guys guarantee a much greater amount than what she had taken." All that fun stuff. And the guy was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Does she have a boss?" And my mom's like, "I asked her that and she said she's the only one in her department." So the guy at the bank that was helping us, he ended up calling her, and I don't know, but I got my money back, and he had opened me all new accounts and was gonna close, had blocked my old ones and was gonna close my old ones once I had transferred all of my automatic stuff over and gotten my new cards and all that. So there was a few week period where I had 4 accounts open instead of 2, and my debit card wasn't working and all this crap was going on. And I called him. I was like, "Hey, you can go ahead and close my old accounts. Everything's transferred over. By the way, my debit card doesn't work," so he had to fix that for me. But then everything seemed good, and I had my online banking was changed, so I had a new login, and I went and I redid it all on my computer. Now, they had also told me that this hacking had happened through my IP address of whatever I use my online banking on, and I use my online banking on my phone, just my phone. I never use it on my computer. So this time I was only using my computer. I never once set up my online banking on my phone with my new accounts. So a little bit of time goes by, and this is where my fault comes in a little bit, but considering what just happened, I didn't think it would happen again. But anyway, so I set up my online banking on my computer, and then I never really checked my account again for a few weeks. I about a week or so. I don't really check my accounts that often. I'm not using them frequently. Like, I still live at home, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, one day I was at work and I just kind of like had a weird feeling. I was like, I need to check my account. So I got on the computer and I checked it. And this time, instead of $46.50 being gone, almost $10,000 was gone from my account. So I just like started crying at that point, and I called my mom because she wasn't at the office, and I was like, they got my account again. They got it 2 times, like one a week ago, one a few days ago, blah, blah, blah. I was like really upset. She's like, I'm on my way back. The second I get there, go to the bank. So while she was on her way back, I called the guy at the bank and he didn't pick up. And then I went to the bank and he was busy. So another lady helped me and she was really good. She was really efficient. She had like everything taken care of in 5 minutes. She blocked my savings, or blocked both of my accounts, I believe. Instead of just changing my online banking, she completely deleted my online banking. And then she reported it to the fraud department, like asked me those same questions and all that stuff. And then right before I pulled up to the bank though, my mom called me and she's like, hey, they got my account too this time. Now, I'm not gonna tell you like how much money of my mom's was taken, but I will just say that the amount that was taken from her in 1 hit is more than the total amount that was taken from me in 3 hits. So anyways, my mom was now freaking out at this point, and now she was on her way to the bank. So by the time she got there, the lady was already done with me, and then she took care of my mom. And with my mom, she had to do it a little differently. It was my mom's saving that also got hit. So she like blocked that. She opened my mom a new account instead of just blocking it, because my mom needed to have access to her accounts more than me. And I think she like changed her online banking, or maybe she shut it down. I'm not quite sure, but she didn't do quite as much as she did for me because my mom still needed access to all of that. And then right after that, they said, did you file a police report last time? And I was like, yes, I did. And so they're like, go back and like add to the report and like for my mom to start one. So we actually went to the police station that time instead of calling. We were there for probably about 30 minutes and they were really nice. They like asked us all the information we knew, asked us to give us any additional information as we find out throughout the process, and they took all of that down. And then at that point, it was kind of a waiting game. And instead of the fraud department getting back to us after a few days, it actually took her like a week or 2 to finally get back to me. And I don't know why, but this time she called me instead of my mom, and she was just as disrespectful to me. She was pretty much belittling me, like making me like out to be like a little 13-year-old girl who didn't know what she was talking about. She was like, did you clean your computer? And I'm like, no, I was never told to. And she's like, well, we told your mom. And I'm thinking to myself like, and what does that do? I'm 20 years old. It was my account that was hit. If you didn't personally tell me to clean my computer, that you can't use that against me. And she was like, well, since you didn't clean your computer, we're gonna have to wait to see what the police say. And pretty much telling me I was not guaranteed to get my money back because I didn't clean my computer. And I told her, I was like, ma'am, last time you told me the hack happened through my phone. I haven't used my phone at all this time. I only use my computer, so what you're saying really doesn't make sense. And she's like, well, did you file the police, or did your mom file the police report for you? And I was like, I filed the police report both times. Like, I was getting so frustrated with her. So anyway, she was like, yeah, we'll just have to wait to see what the police say. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was so mad. So anyways, I get off the phone and my mom was like, call the lady from the bank right now, like that we've been dealing with. So I called her. She didn't pick up. I called her every hour until they closed that day at 5. Never heard back from her. Called her a few times the next day, didn't hear back from her. And then finally, like 2 days after I talked to the lady from the fraud department, the lady at the bank finally called me back. And the only reason I hadn't gone to the bank is just because with my schedule, I didn't have the time to actually go. Oops. Anyways, so she called and she's like, oh, what's going on? I got your voicemail, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I talked to the lady at the fraud department. She was really disrespectful to me. Like, she treated me like I was a child. She was saying because I didn't clean my computer, the money wasn't guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's completely unacceptable, all of that. And then she was like, well, is your mom there? And I was like, no, my mom's like out right now. And she was like, well, we discovered that every hack that has happened, even the beginning one that was on your account, has happened through your mom's online banking. And I was like, okay. So she's like, I'm gonna call your mom. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Because at this point, since it happened through my mom's online banking, it's her they would communicate with. So I hung up with her and she called my mom. Now, I will just throw this in real quick. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the first time I got hacked and they changed all of my accounts and changed my online banking, they also changed my mom's online banking. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. So now they called my mom and she was like, so all the hacks have happened through your online banking, blah, blah, blah. But I got you all your money back. Like all your money is back for both you and your daughter. So we're like, awesome, sweet, way to go. And then my mom had to go in and spent about, I can't remember, a couple hours at the bank having to close down every single one of her accounts, my accounts and my brother's accounts, because all of them were tied to her online banking, and reopen them all. And my mom has about 15 accounts through BB&T. So that was a long process, and she had to close every single one and open all new ones and transfer all of her like automatic deposits over and this and that, and it was such a hassle. And then they told my mom that none of us could open our online banking again for 6 weeks. They said that if we demanded that our online banking be open before then and that we got hacked again, that we would not be covered. And my mom was like, that is absolutely ridiculous. Like if the hack is happening through your online banking system, I should not be penalized for that. Like I need my online banking. I need to be able to see my account on a daily basis. You told me to check my account on a daily basis and now you're not letting me check it. It was absolutely ridiculous. Well, then the fraud department started changing, or the lady at the fraud department, the one who has no one above her, started changing her story every single time we talked to her or the lady at the bank talked to her. First, it was my computer needed to be cleaned. Then it was our Wi-Fi needed to be cleaned, and we're like, man, we use multiple Wi-Fis and they're all locked. She's like, oh, well. Then it was all of our computers needed to be cleaned. Then it was the Wi-Fi again. It was also our online banking that needed to be changed. Like her story was changing every time. Every time we like proved her wrong about something, next time we talked to her, the story was changing. So I don't know if it's echoing in here, and I'm really sorry if it is. But anyways, so my mom was getting extremely frustrated. She was in the bank constantly, would have to like go just to have them print out records of what our bank looked like at the moment, because we didn't know if any more money was being taken from us. Like we have no idea. And I can't see if my paychecks have been going through. I can't see if my tax return has actually come through or not. I now currently have like 2 closed bank accounts, or like blocked ones, and 2 open ones, and I have money in both and I have no idea what's going on. And my mom's is all over the place, my brother's is all over the place. It's just a complete disaster. So anyways, then my mom a few days ago was talking to a lady at the bank, and she's like, hey, so now they're saying that you can never open your online banking again. And they're like, if you do open your online banking and you get hacked, you won't be covered. So not just for the 6-week period now, but for life. Like we can never have our online banking again. And my mom was like, no. She's like, you need to talk to them. That's completely unacceptable. I'm looking at other banks. Like I will be changing if that's the case. That is completely ridiculous. It is not on me if my online banking gets hacked because your system is faulty and you don't have enough security on it. Like, no. So, the lady at the bank has been really, really understanding. Like she sees that the fraud lady's story is changing. She doesn't agree with how they're handling this, but there's not much she can really do because she can't guarantee us our money back. She isn't the fraud department. Like she's just kind of stuck. She's the middleman pretty much. So anyways, she's like, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna talk to them, blah, blah. Now at this point, I believe her manager is involved and the lady at the fraud department. And my mom called him yesterday, and the lady at the bank again, she's like, so is there an update? And the lady was like, I'm sorry, they're sticking to it. They said you can never have your online banking again. And my mom was like, all right, well, I'll be switching banks then. I'm looking into some other ones. I'll be in between now and Wednesday to take all of my money out. She's like, that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it does not cost them anything. When our accounts get hacked, like they have insurance for a reason. They can't tell us that like our money is not guaranteed to come back when their system keeps getting hacked, and they're trying to put the blame on us in 500 different ways. So needless to say, we're switching banks, which is going to be a whole headache in itself. As I've said, my mom has 15 accounts. I have my accounts. My brother has his accounts. And some of those are business accounts. Some of them are personal. Like it's such an absolute mess. We are pissed beyond belief. And my mom didn't originally switch banks because she was like, I've been with BB&T for over 20 years. Like, I know that they'll handle this right. It's gonna be such a headache to switch. And her and I were talking yesterday, and I was like, it was a bigger headache dealing with this for the past few months. And now we have to deal with a whole nother headache of switching. Like, it is the most frustrating thing in the world. BB&T sucks. their customer service sucks, except for the lady at the bank. Like at our personal bank in our town, like they've been really helpful, but like higher up, the fraud department is horrible. I'm so mad. And it's been terrifying because like not knowing that your money is safe and not like at this point thinking our money's not even guaranteed to come back. Like it's the most it's terrible. Yeah, we're pissed. But I thought I'd come in here and tell you guys a story, and if there's anything you can take away from it, first of all, check your accounts every single day. I'm not kidding. Like if you see anything that's not right, report it to your bank immediately and have that taken care of. And even if you notice on one of your accounts a few cents be transferred out, report that, because that is like people testing your account to see if they can take more. None of mine were ever tested, but my mom's was. And it's her savings account that she never checked, which is why she didn't notice it. Also, let me just throw in there that when they changed my mom's online banking after my first hacking, she didn't know how to set it up properly again. They didn't really help her with that. So she wasn't getting those notifications anymore telling her that like a big amount had left her account, which is why she wasn't able to catch these in time like she should have been able to had they helped her to set up her online banking right. So that's another thing. But anyways, so yes, check your accounts all the time, every day, like, and check them on secure Wi-Fi, like on your personal devices, blah, blah, blah. I had another point, if I can think about it. But yeah, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, leave comments below. Subscribe if you're new. I do post vlogs every Sunday. Recently they've been going up on Monday because I'm facing every issue with YouTube possible. But yeah, so check all those out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope this doesn't happen to any of you. Bye.